It has really, really not been a good week for the Conservatives because Rishi Sunak has, well, landed them in a world of pain, which, well, they were always going to end up going in anyway. This was their problem to begin with. You know, Rishi Sunak surprisingly said that the tough work starts now. But what about all the time that the Conservatives have been in power? What about, George Osborne? Did he not work hard? Philip Hammond, did he not work hard under Theresa May? you know, they've been in power for quite 12 years at this point. And it is very, very clear that the Conservative Party is in tatters. It is at war with its very idea. It no longer, I think, has anything to say really about the true state of modern Britain. Instead, now the Conservative Party is being run by ideologues, people who are so sure that these ideas should be working, even when the boulder is literally rolling down on the hill at them, and they're just like saying, don't worry, guys, the boulder's not going to hit me because, my idea says that it shouldn't. That's where we are. That is where we are at the moment. That boulder is hurtling down, and the people who voted again and coalesced around this almost Herculean challenge to push the big Brexit boulder up the hill are now starting to see other cracks. They're now starting to see some Conservatives sit on the sideline and go, yes, you push that boulder. And all the while they're, should we say, doing things in the economy which most of the red wall voters are really not happy with at all. But before we go on into discussing more of this, please do remember to hit my like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help support the channel that way. So, back in 2019, we saw the Conservatives rally all the idea of the culture war. The 2019 election was the Brexit election, and it pulled all those, those Northern Leave voters in the red wall to vote for them, some of them for the very first time, and literally not willingly, but some of them holding their nose because they had been promised by the Leave campaign, by people like Nigel Farage, that this would end their troubles, that this would end austerity, that the ideas of immigration that we had been whipped up into a frenzy would finally be over. It would end. But you look at the numbers today, Brexit's hardly mentioned at all because the Conservatives are so scared to actually really talk about what's going on with it. And when you look at like polls of people, what they care about, Brexit isn't an issue to them. Immigration is at its lowest point for what voters care about for years. Because again, there haven't been those people trying to whip it up. Because again, the Brexit vote was so linked to the idea of immigration is bad. Hence why we all need to vote for Leave, and it can all end this awful, horrible immigration. We'll all be fine and dandy and well. People just don't care because, again, there's no Nigel Farage out there whipping up a frenzy about immigrants. Even recently, when you've seen him try to go out into the channel and try and whip up the frenzy that he used to do about these immigrants coming over, people haven't really cared about it at all. And that says a lot about the coalition that Boris built back in 2019 for his big Brexit vote. Next election, certainly not going to be there because PartyGate, especially Brexiteers, when you look at again their favorability of Boris during the vaccine period, he was riding high with their support. I think he had about plus 42% of them supporting him on that. PartyGate has crashed him down with Brexit voters to minus 15. That's a lot of support to lose, especially when that core support was enough to win you those red vote seats. And we have seen Keir Starmer's very good plan, although I disagree with it, but politically, it's quite a savvy move. All Starmer has to do is win just enough of those Brexiteers back over to the Labour side by saying, "Oh yeah, we'll get the benefit. Pardon me, we'll get the benefits of Brexit back for you." That's all he has to do. And remember, I've always said it. Some of those majorities that they won in the north were very, very slim. They do not need much to win back those seats. And I think you are going to see that because, especially now with austerity going, well, not austerity, but the cost of living crisis, the fuel crisis, that is what people in this country are really going to care about, the economy. And remember, since 2008, the Conservatives have been seen as the ones, as we were the stewards of the economy. We are the good people who know how to run the economy. That's why you put us in power. But historically and factually, that's never really been true. But it's something that the Conservatives have, shall we say, made the untruth true. And that's where they get a lot of their power and support. Oh, vote for the Conservatives because, well, we're good with the economy. And you've just got to look what Rishi Sunak's done. This is going to be an absolute nightmare for the economy coming forward. And Rishi Sunak could have done so much to help people on low incomes with his small spring statement, but has done nothing. And as I saw one Twitter commenter put quite rightly, well, I've lost, basically my gas price goes back to where it was last Thursday, which doesn't mean that the prices have lowered. And again, I think we're going to see the price of gas and fuel and oil go up even more, I think, in the coming weeks. And you've also got to remember the stuff that the Tories did. We could have had wind farms that would have helped us wean us off a lot of the gas and got people onto renewable energies. They put a kibosh on that completely. We saw them get rid of our gas storage facilities. All that gas storage that we could have had would have been great to help distribute now to really offset the high prices. But again, the Tories got rid of it because it's costing us too much money, so we'll just get rid of them. Again, fantastic Tory future planning as always. So, of course, what does all this really mean? Well, it's something which we've been saying for quite a while, that the Brexit coalition that Boris Johnson managed to build back in 2019 has been well and truly broken at this point. The people who voted for Brexit now have, shall we say, far more pressing concerns over whether they, heat their houses or, well, have a hot meal. And that is unfortunately the sad state that we are in. And remember, when they try to say that Brexit is good, it's been a good thing, which ultimately they will have to fall back on, which is their ultimate hope that if they can rally these leaders back to them, that they will win the next election. So expect, I think, this week to see Brexit make a somewhat triumphant, in quotation marks, return to the political stage. We'll have to see how that turns out, but I don't think it's going to turn out very well, if you ask me. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.